So here we have a gearbox from the EMERBU Toys new MK8. So this is a V2 gearbox with metal gears, upgraded spring. This comes with a nice 480 high-speed motor. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we took it apart. Rather than showing you everything, I think it's just as easy to tell you. There's not a ton of steps, but there's some steps that I can point out to make it easy. First off, you're going to take the buffer tube off. And you had to put it on, so hopefully you remember how to take it off. You're just going to unscrew that screw in there. That's going to slide off the back. Now, since we're just messing with the gearbox, we're not changing the handguard or anything, we can go ahead and leave the handguard connected. And really all we're going to have to do is take this out with an Allen wrench. This unscrews, pull that out. That's what's going through here and holding the top of the receiver to the bottom of the receiver. And then you can just kind of pull back on the charging handle and push forward, and it should just kind of slide off. If you do want to take the handguard off, go ahead, 2 screws here, and then don't forget these 2 little Allen wrench screws here, as those are poking in as well, and you don't see those on every handguard, okay? So that'd be if you want to take the handguard off, and then there's a barrel nut you can unscrew if you want to remove everything. But since we're just getting the gearbox out, I left it all in one piece just to save time, and there's no real reason to do that. So next, we're going to remove the bottom of the grip. There's 2 screws here. Don't mess with that middle screw. These 2 Phillips head screws. Unscrew them. That pops off. Your motor's going to basically pop out, and then you're just going to disconnect the motor here, and then you can pull the motor out. All right, so there's your motor. Okay, next, if you look inside here, you can see some holes. There's actually 4 screws that connect to the gearbox here, 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 and here. So you're going to use a screwdriver to reach in there. You can use a manual screwdriver. I try to use electric screwdrivers whenever I can, so I can reach in there, unscrew those 4 screws, the handle will come out. So now you've just got your gearbox stuck in this lower receiver. You're going to have to remove your mag release. It is a nice metal mag release here, okay? And that takes a really small little Allen wrench. Now, I don't know my sizes, I'm sorry, I just know which ones to grab, but that's what you need there. So you'll just unscrew that, take that out. I always put it back together, as you can see, with a lot of things so you don't lose them. Next, you've got a bolt that goes right through here, right? Again, another Allen wrench. Goes right through there. That's going through this part of the gearbox. Unscrew, pull the bolt out. And last, you've got a pin right here that goes through the gearbox and through the receiver and the gearbox. Now, it's probably hard to see, but there's some texture on this end of that, and that's kind of what holds it in. So you want to push against that. If you start pushing on it with something like even an Allen wrench, and it's not moving at all and you're pushing hard, flip it over and try the other side, because you might be pushing against this side. And if you're trying to push it all the way through like that, you will get it eventually, but it's going to be a lot harder, and you're kind of widening out that, which you don't want to do. So you've got all those pieces out. Flip this into safety. And then, because that's the easiest way to get it out typically with any of these gearboxes, and then you can kind of just pull the gearbox out. Then that's where we are. We're right here now. I was just going to show you how you would change a spring on it. And all you're going to do is back here. Okay, you can see that's actually where the screw from the buffer tube connects, but that's where the spring is. So you can just take a screwdriver. You're going to have to push it in a little bit. Okay, and it pops out. So it pops out. You can see it's a nice metal spring retention pin, which is good. And then there's your spring. And you could go ahead and switch your spring. You switch this up to like an M95 or M100, you're easily over 300 FPS. So now that's pretty quick. When you're putting it back together, this isn't too bad. You can usually just slide it right back in, and the little trigger trolley is going to be fine. But just make sure you're careful that you don't pop that spring out, because that'll cause a problem, and then you won't be able to use your semi-automatic and automatic. And obviously be a little careful of the wires here for priming. All right, so that's kind of a quick rundown. Again, EMERBU Toys, MK8. It's their new V2 version with the metal gears, the high-speed motor, upgraded spring, metal barrel, and 11.1 volt battery. Got any questions or comments, please post them below. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in those monthly giveaways.